No one was prepared for the headline that shattered the internet overnight. Not football fans. Not movie lovers. Not even Hollywood insiders. When the words "Cristiano Ronaldo joins Fast and Furious" appeared on screens around the world, they felt unreal, almost fictional, like a rumor too wild to be true. A man whose life had been defined by stadium lights, roaring crowds, and record-breaking goals was suddenly stepping into one of the most explosive movie franchises in history. For a moment, the world froze. Then it erupted. Cristiano Ronaldo is not just a footballer. He is a symbol of obsession, discipline, and dominance. For over 2 decades, his name has been synonymous with speed, power, and relentless ambition. He conquered leagues, silenced critics, and built a legacy that few athletes in history can even dream of. And yet, just when people thought they had Ronaldo figured out, he did the unthinkable. He didn't announce a retirement. He didn't launch another business. He didn't return to Europe. Instead, he walked straight into Hollywood, and not quietly, but with the thunder of Fast and Furious behind him. The shock wasn't only about acting. It was about scale. Fast and Furious is not a small experiment or a side project. It is a global cinematic empire built on adrenaline, family, betrayal, and raw power. By joining it, Ronaldo wasn't testing the waters. He was diving headfirst into the deep end. This move instantly blurred the line between sports and cinema, forcing the world to ask one burning question. Why would a football legend at the peak of his global influence take such a risk? Behind the scenes, this decision had been brewing longer than anyone realized. Sources close to the production revealed that Ronaldo wasn't approached as a cameo or a marketing stunt. He was discussed as a presence, someone who could dominate the screen the same way he dominates a football pitch. His body language, his intensity, his silence, everything about him already felt cinematic. The producers didn't want Ronaldo to act like someone else. They wanted him to be Ronaldo, placed inside a world that thrives on power and control. For years, fans joked that Ronaldo looked like an action hero. The sharp jawline, the commanding stare, the physical perfection. It all felt unreal. But jokes turned into reality the moment cameras began preparing for his role. Training sessions were reportedly brutal. This wasn't football fitness. This was stunt training, combat choreography, and high-speed action conditioning. Ronaldo didn't hesitate. He never does. The same mindset that pushed him to outwork everyone in football now drove him to outprepare seasoned Hollywood actors. What made this moment even more explosive was the timing. Ronaldo didn't wait for the end of his football relevance. He didn't wait until the crowd faded. He chose to expand while still standing at the top. This wasn't an escape from football, it was an evolution. A declaration that his identity was never limited to one field, one sport, or one chapter. Fans quickly split into 2 sides. One side celebrated the move as legendary, calling it the boldest crossover in modern sports history. The other side doubted it, questioning whether a football icon could truly survive Hollywood's unforgiving spotlight. But Ronaldo has lived his entire life under doubt. And every time he responded the same way, by proving people wrong. As the world continues to speculate about his role, one thing is already clear. This is not just a movie appearance. It's a moment that will be remembered. A moment when the fastest man on the pitch decided to test himself in the fastest franchise on Earth. The engines haven't even started yet, and already, history is being written. And this is only the beginning. What initially felt like an internet fantasy slowly began to take shape. Quiet confirmations started leaking from behind closed doors. Industry insiders whispered that this was no joke, no marketing stunt, and no short cameo. Cristiano Ronaldo was not just appearing in Fast and Furious, he was entering it. The franchise that built its legacy on speed, power, and brotherhood was preparing to introduce a real-life force of nature. And suddenly, the question changed. It was no longer, is this true? It became, why did it take so long? Behind the scenes, the decision had been carefully calculated. Fast and Furious had reached a point where it needed more than explosions and fast cars. It needed a moment. Someone whose presence alone could reignite global attention. Ronaldo wasn't just famous. He was inevitable. His discipline, his physical dominance, his intense focus, All of it matched the DNA of the franchise. This wasn't Hollywood borrowing from football. This was cinema recognizing power when it saw it. Ronaldo himself approached the project differently from what people expected. There were no loud announcements, no flashy teasers from his side. Instead, he trained relentlessly. Long before cameras rolled, he studied action choreography, timing, body control, and screen presence. Sources revealed that Ronaldo treated this role like a Champions League final. Preparation first, confidence later. He didn't want sympathy applause. He wanted respect. As details slowly surfaced, excitement turned into obsession. Fans dissected every leaked image, every rumor, every insider comment. Was he playing a villain? A rival? A dangerous ally with his own agenda? The mystery became fuel, and the silence from the studio only made it louder. Fast and Furious understood one thing perfectly: anticipation is power, and Ronaldo generates it effortlessly. What made this crossover truly dangerous was its symbolism. Ronaldo stepping into Hollywood wasn't about retirement plans or side hustles. It was a message, a warning, that his story doesn't slow down just because time moves forward. Football may have made him immortal, but cinema offered something else: eternity on screen. And for the first time, critics who once doubted athletes in acting began to hesitate. By the time official confirmations arrived, the world was already convinced. The franchise didn't just gain a new character, it gained a new axis. A figure capable of shifting the balance of the entire narrative. One thing became clear: Fast and Furious was no longer just about cars and chaos. It was about legacy colliding with legacy. And this was only the beginning. The lights on the set flickered as the cameras rolled. Every frame captured not just action, but the story of a legend transcending his own limits. Cristiano Ronaldo, once the king of football pitches around the world, now commanded the silver screen with the same intensity, precision, and dominance that made him a global phenomenon. Audiences had been waiting for the moment when their hero would step into uncharted territory, and now it was here, faster, louder, and more powerful than anyone had imagined. This chapter was not just about stunts or scripted drama. It was about the transformation of an icon into a symbol of limitless ambition. The world watched in awe as Ronaldo executed complex fight sequences, high-speed chases, and death-defying stunts with the poise of a seasoned action star. Each move seemed to tell a story of resilience, discipline, and the refusal to be confined by a single arena. Just as he had dominated football stadiums, he was now conquering Hollywood stages. The reaction was instantaneous. Fans flooded social media with edits, memes, and fan theories. The hashtag Ronaldo Fast and Furious trended across continents within hours. Analysts debated the cultural significance. Influencers speculated on his next cinematic venture, and casual viewers who had never watched a football match found themselves intrigued by the sheer magnetism of Ronaldo's presence. It was no longer about football or movies alone. It was about a global phenomenon that bridged worlds, captivated minds, and rewrote expectations. Behind the scenes, the cast and crew marveled at his dedication. He was more than an actor. He was a student of the craft. Hours of rehearsals, countless retakes, and intense stunt preparations were met with the same unwavering focus that had defined his football career. Directors noted that his instinctive awareness of timing, space, and movement gave the action scenes a realism that CGI could never replicate. Every punch, kick, and high-speed maneuver resonated authenticity, making audiences feel the intensity rather than just witnessing it. Yet, Part 3 was more than physical performance. It revealed Ronaldo's emotional depth and adaptability. Through quiet scenes, subtle expressions, and tense confrontations, he demonstrated that his storytelling extended beyond the physical. He could convey fear, determination, loss, and triumph with the same power that once electrified stadiums. Fans began to see a different side of their hero, a side that could connect, inspire, and move hearts without uttering a word. This cinematic journey also symbolized the broader message of evolution. Ronaldo's venture into Hollywood reflected the universal truth that greatness is not static. It cannot be defined by a single field, a single skill, or a single achievement. Legends evolve, challenge norms, and redefine what is possible. Through this role, Ronaldo was no longer simply a footballer. He had become a cultural bridge, inspiring athletes, artists, and dreamers worldwide to embrace new challenges, push boundaries, and pursue greatness in every dimension. As the film reached its climax, Ronaldo's character faced impossible odds. Explosions, high-speed pursuits, and intricate stunts collided in a crescendo of cinematic brilliance. Yet through it all, his presence remained unshakable, a testament to his journey from football prodigy to global icon. By the final scene, it was clear that this was more than entertainment. It was history in motion. The audience left theaters not just exhilarated, but inspired, witnessing the power of ambition, focus, and resilience translated onto the screen. Finally, Part 3 concluded not with an end, but a promise. Cristiano Ronaldo's journey into Fast and Furious was only the beginning of a new era. His legacy now spanned football, fashion, lifestyle, and cinema, creating a blueprint for what true versatility and ambition could look like. The world had witnessed an extraordinary transformation, from the roar of stadiums to the flash of cameras, and the message was unmistakable. Limits exist only to be challenged, expectations are meant to be shattered, and legends, like Ronaldo, continue to rise, faster and stronger than ever.